Do you like explosions? Do you like zapping people? Do you like ass? And lastly, do you like characters that don't give a rat's ass about the monetization of this video? If you said yes to any of the aforementioned questions, or not, I don't care, you'll love this game, because today we are looking at Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. You know, like the sequel to Borderlands 2 but happens like before it? Nah, I'm gonna shut up now. Now, let me put up a disclaimer for anyone who hasn't played this game yet. There will be spoilers ahead, possibly even from other Borderlands games, as this game is kind of the faster clock of them all. I mean, there's such a ragtag team that puts Avengers to shame. Anywho, you have been warned. Now let's get back to the video. At the beginning of the game, you, or more precisely, Athena, has been captured and is chained up by Lilith for some kinky foreplay. Or in other words, interrogation at gunpoint. Athena kinda tried to kill Mordecai and break, so Lilith is not happy with her, and now she wants to know who Athena is and who sent her.
That is a long story.
What? Alright. In the pre-sequel, you are hired by none other than Jack himself, who this time around is actually the hero of the story. Sorta. Saving the moon Elpis and its inhabitants from the maniacal and dreadfully named Tungstina Zarpedon. I mean, he's still a scumbag, but who wouldn't like serving the greater good? Perhaps these guys. Or my favorite character in the whole ruddy game. Either way, this game is a story as told from the perspective of Athena, happening somewhere between the events of Borderlands 1 and 2, and you play as one of the Vault Hunters with Jack hired to help him, including Athena herself. But who would play Athena? I mean, who plays the main character if they don't have to? I do. I love this character. She's my waifu. You might know Athena from Borderlands 1, where she's one of the NPCs with a great but tragic story. She's been a Crimson Lance assassin, one of the Atlas's meanest and deadliest soldiers, but was tricked into killing her own sister, after which she has gone AWOL.
This is Nox. Today at 0300 hours, Lance assassin Athena went AWOL, killing 9.5 Crimson Lance soldiers in the process. One of them got cut in two, vertically. He's alive, but he's got to hop everywhere. Anyway, my guess is she wasn't psyched about the Atlas High Command duping her into murdering her sister. Which, great idea, morons. You want to kill somebody, hire someone who doesn't give a rat's ass about the job. Regardless, she escaped. With any luck, she'll come back one day and kill all of us. Knocks out.
She swore to take revenge on Atlas, and went out to kill anyone associated with it. And by anyone, I mean everyone. Now, she used to be the sleek, mean killing machine, but since the events of Borderlands 1, she has gotten herself a shield and became thick. Where did she get that shield? I don't know, probably farm Nox or dropped, but I can assure you, it's fun as hell to play with. Her playstyle feels something like a combination of Monty from Rainbow Six and Paladin from World of Warcraft. Plus, having a shield in a game where the characters are more fragile than a microphone stand made in China is invaluable. She's got 3 skill trees. Duh. One focus on juggling 2 elemental weapons, second on juggling melee and a weapon, and the last one on just the shield. All in all, very fun. Speaking of fun, yeah, that's about right, because next up we got Wilhelm. You might know Wilhelm from Borderlands 2 as that badass boss robot, but that's about the only fun thing about this guy. I mean, he looks cool, but playing him feels like wiping your ass with sandpaper for money.
But Kimmy, he's a pet class, and you like having slay robots doing work for you.
Yeah, but it's gotta be done right. Borderlands is all about that character customization, and your skills make up a great portion of that. Wilhelm's got 2 skill trees designed purely around his bots. Bots which, mind you, have almost no interaction with you, and one that looks like it was made by a claptrap getting frisky with a trash bin. I mean, there is this robotic arm thingy which sounds pretty neat, but the rest of it is just so random. I get a feeling like Wilhelm was the precursor of what eventually became the Flag, but in the pre-sequel, he's just boring. Nisha, the Lawbringer, is pretty fun. I mean, I haven't played her, but a crazed cowgirl gunman with an automatic headshot ability who yells at high noon? Sign me in. Wish I picked her over Wilhelm. Oh, and Jack's got something hyper on in his pants for her. I'll show myself out. Also, she's an optional boss in Borderlands 2 and Jack's girlfriend, so she probably wrote the on it. Next up we got Claptrap, and oh boy! I had plenty of jokes prepared for this guy, but it was cringe overload. So I decided to tune it down a bit. Either way, in the pre-sequel you can operate a Claptrap unit using Jack's very own malware, which turns it into a Vault Hunter. This malware gives Claptrap the ability to become a budget version of some of the other Borderlands 2 or pre-sequel heroes, inheriting their abilities, which Claptrap can turn off for some reason, and some of their skills. Plus you can become any of the other random transformations, such as the Rubber Ducky or, and I shit you not, Gandalf. This ability is one of the stupidest and most fun abilities I've ever used in Borderlands, even if a bit luck dependent. As for the skills, I think I haven't played Claptrap enough to judge. Neither did I play this guy, so let's move straight to Aurelia. Aurelia is the heiress of the Hammerlock family fortune. Yes, that Hammerlock. And she's rich, like exorbitantly rich. Really, she ended up as one of Jack's mercenaries only by chance, and stayed just for the lulz. Her ability is more on the dull side of things, as she fires a simple homing ice shard which attached to the nearest enemy and deals constant cryo damage to them and around them for 21 seconds or until that enemy dies, at which point the shard seeks out a new host. As for the skills, you can choose a sniper build, cryo build, or the build where you enslave your body by the sheer force of capitalism. Now, you actually begin the game by coming to the aid of Jack, who is stranded at Helios, which is besieged by the Lost Legion. The Lost Legion are ex-Dahul soldiers, which are gonna be the bad guys for most of the story. Once you arrive at the station, Jack greets you with open arms, and he's thankful you arrived so quickly. Who am I kidding? He's got a number of bullet wounds and is bleeding on the ground. He won't die just yet, so take your time. You'll do me a favor. Once you save him, you'll start working on getting him, his oversized ego, and his customary hubris off the ship. This proves to be impossible as he gets surrounded by the Lost Legion, and in a last-ditch effort, Jack sacrifices himself to save you. Maybe he isn't so bad. I don't like it. Once on the moon, you get to meet Janie. She's a tomboy lesbian version of Scooter. Also, the moon's on fire. Anyway, Janie gives you this thing. The Osket. The moon has no atmosphere, so you will need the Osket to breathe, albeit momentarily. It also gives you the ability to slam your butt really hard, which is fun for all the one times you're actually gonna use it. But back to the story. Janie is your link to Concordia, the main port of Elpis, and you really need to get there to stop this big ass laser from destroying the moon. So you do some quests for her and she gets you there. Simple. Once there, you talk to Merif.
Visitors from Helios. So, here's the thing. No visitors today.
Or you would talk to Merif if he wasn't a piece of shit. Instead of that, you talk to Moxie, which is here for some reason, don't ask, and which sends you to do some quests. Now, I could explain the whole storyline, but I actually want to release this video someday. So let's just say that you're an asshole, you're a weeb, and you look alive in a shallow grave. Anyway, back to Helios.
We need mucho robot bodies if we're gonna retake Helios and save the day and stuff. Capiche?
Pretty sure those are intentional. Once you deal with all the squabbling down on the moon, and kill my favorite character, there's still one more thing to do. Disabling the Eye of Helios. You know that big ass laser destroying the moon? Yeah, that thing. But the Lost Legion won't let you off that easily, so we kill a bunch of them. While killing them, they will say something about being the good guys. But that can't be right. Right? Also, Jack is back to being an asshole. In the meantime, you go back to killing lots and lots of Lost Legion soldiers, but by this point, you've probably come to the realization that something's off. Are we the bad guys? Then Lilith, Roland and Moxie come together to backstab Jack, and yes, you are the bad guy. Either way, this is actually my most favorite part of the game, because you can see just how everyone's changing around you. You might have come to love Jack from Borderlands 2 for his egoistical and maniacal view of life, but here you can actually see how it came to be. He suddenly obtains essentially all the power in the world and almost immediately sees it crumbling to dust all around him. He sends you on progressively more and more maniacal missions in order to save it, and your character, depending on which one you picked, will respond differently. But there is still one character which opposes you from the get-go, the dreadfully named Tangstina Zarpedon, the leader of the Lost Legion. She was the one who attacked Helios in the first place and who made every single step of your way helping Jack miserable. But why? It's because she knew something you didn't. She offered to save you. She wanted to stop you. She wanted to save the universe. She knew about the vault. This was Jack's unforeseen goal. This is the end of Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. Oh, and on the second playthrough, you'll be reciting the story to Tiny Tina. So, that's fun.
Delicious. Ew, ew, what did I do? Ew.
Tina, that's just nasty.
Ew, 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 ew.